feel like I look like shit. My sinuses are going bananas because of the weather lately. I'm in Southern California, so that should never be a thing that I have to say because of the weather lately, because it should just be like 76 degrees all the time, but it's been pissing rain. Like God went on a, 24-hour drinking bender and held it, and like now it's all, this is a bit about God pissing on the world. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of What Are You Working On? Our 4th episode, I believe. And it should be our 5th episode, but I didn't do an episode last week. I made it to 3 before I flaked, but it's part of the journey, man. It just, that's what happens. I want to thank Sarah and Geezer and Mary and everybody out there who held me accountable by asking, hey Matt, what are you working on this week? Which was, I enjoyed that, but no, I appreciate it. And as I said on Twitter, it's easy to feel sometimes like I'm making content with 3 hands and just nobody really cares about it. But there are people who care about it. And what I'm really saying when I say that is not enough people care about it to satisfy me and my ego and my preconceived notions about how big an audience needs to be before it matters, which is complete bullshit. There's so many of you out there who watch this stuff and read my books and do all of these things, and just because I don't have like millions of people, just because I don't have millions of people just lavishing adulation on me all the time, I start to think, well, nobody cares about what I'm doing, which is ridiculous. But if you are just joining us, this is the show where I tell you what I'm working on, what I've been working on this week, keep you apprised of all my doings, and you tell me what you're working on. You hit the comments, and you're like, Matt, this is what I've been working on. And if you have questions, or you need to bounce something off me, some ideas, you need motivation, whatever you need, I'm here for you. So hit the comments. I read and respond to every single one, and I'm happy to do it. And yeah, it's what are you working on? It's a community of accountability. That's no, but it is though. It's a community of accountability. That just sounded very like startup tech company when I said that, so it struck me funny. But that's what we're doing, and I think it's a worthwhile pursuit. And I appreciate all of you joining me for this thing. So what have I been working on? That is the central question. Who do you want to be today? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be just like someone on TV? Anybody? Anybody get that reference? Anybody raised in the 80s like me? Anyway, this was supposed to be one of those afterburner weeks, where I slammed out the words and ground myself into a fine powder, trying to get the second section of Savage Bounty done. Second section of Savage Bounty. Say that 3 times fast. If you can, you win a prize. You don't really win a prize. No, but I was trying to get the second section of my big epic fantasy book that is the next epic fantasy book in the epic fantasy book series that I'm doing for Saga, the first book of which comes out next year in spring. Hopefully by then I will have written all 3 of the books. I'm working on the second one now. It's due April 1st, which is like, almost 3 weeks away at this point. It's so sad. But I didn't hit my goal for this week. I didn't. This week kind of sucked. Last night, my wife and I ate about 10 pounds of Korean barbecue, and I came home and curled into a fetal ball in bed, and I put on like bad early 90s pro wrestling, which always comforts me because it reminds me of when I was a kid, and I looked at Hot Toys on my phone for a couple hours, none of which I bought. Hot Toys, if you don't know, are very intricate 6-scale action figures. I collect them. They're very expensive. Which is why I'm not buying any right now, because, we need to retire someday, my wife and I, hopefully early, so that's a thing. But yeah, so I didn't hit that goal. That's okay. I worked, and I pushed stuff out, and other stuff was going on. I had an interview for what may become a full-time writing gig at a video game company, and I've never written for video games before, so that's pretty exciting. Can't say any more else about it, I do words for a living. I can't say any more about it because I had to sign an NDA just to take the interview, because video games are very secretive about what they're doing. And they need to be, I guess. But, so I had that interview this week. I thought it went well, but, you never know. We'll see what happens there. I'll tell you what else I worked on this week. I worked on waiting. A lot of waiting. Waiting is a big part of what you're working on when you're a freelance writer. I'm waiting for my agent to read my new middle grade novel. I'm waiting for one of, the preeminent Latin American filmmakers out there actually to read my pilot script, which is very nerve-wracking because I'm a very big fan of this person, and they are actually reading the pilot. They've been approached to attach themselves to it as a producer and possibly a director by the other fine people I'm working with on this pilot, who are friends of mine who love the script. I don't know if I told you guys that. You guys and girls and non-binary people. I don't want to use, I don't want to generalize. But, yeah, I don't know if I told everyone about that. But yeah, the initial friends / producers I sent the pilot to really loved it, which was a victory in and of itself, because I'm working with peers I really respect, who I know are really honest and very critical. So to receive a message at brunch, I was at a lobster buffet brunch in the Valley. A friend of mine, very good friend of mine, Edward Earl Newton, who I came out to Los Angeles with many years ago to break into screenwriting. We roomed together for a long time. He's moving out of state this week. He's moving away. And so this was kind of like let's go to the place we used to go for like champagne lobster brunch in the Valley at a place called Delmonico's, which is an amazing old school steakhouse. This has nothing to do with anything, but it's a thing that we did. I was at the brunch and I got this text, and it was from my very good friend who's helping with his pilot, and she was like, I loved it, loved, all in caps, which is exactly what you want to hear when you send somebody something to read. Feels good. It's a good feeling. So anyway, yeah, waiting for a lot of people whose opinions really matter and who I really care about and who will help determine my creative and professional destiny to read the things that I have spent so long working on and then finally finished and pushed out in the world. And the waiting is work in and of itself. Never let anybody tell you it's not, because it's very nerve-wracking. It takes up you spend a lot of emotional, psychological, mental, even physical currency on waiting, whether you want to or not. It's like a tax. It's like a freelance writer tax. So that's more or less what I have had going on, and I am sorry about the lack of episode last week. It was also tax week last week, so that was a whole other thing I'm not even going to go into. But just very busy with a million different things, trying to stay on top of it, trying to keep you all apprised, and apprised, and that's the story up to date, as we know. So hit the comments, let me know what you're working on, and again, if you have any questions, anything you want to bounce off me, I will be available to you all. Please like, share, subscribe, let people know about this channel and the series on your social media channels. Hit the notification button so you get new notifications of when new episodes come out, all that jazz. Until next time, I think I'm going to do these on Friday from now on. Friday is feeling like a good day, because it's about what you were working on during the week, so I can give a proper roundup of how my week went if I do them on Friday. And I don't seem to get to them till Friday anyway, so we might as well go with that. So I'll see you next Friday. Until then, Wallace, out. Or Team Hamshackle, out. That's the outro. There we go. Nailed it.